Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. A little bit of Jersey brewing up in this piece in the form of Mudhen Brewing. This is their Mudhen Pilsner. They say Pilsner, so I'm going to say Pilsner. This be a 5% alcohol by volume. Story time. It says here, Wildwood, New Jersey. Mudhen Brewing Company is named after the first rail line to bring visitors to Wildwood. Okay. They actually talk about the beer. Welcome, refreshing, and satisfying, like on break at the shore, or reminiscing of when enjoy this crisp, clean taste provided by the highest quality malt and American noble hops we can find. Brewmaster TM. Looks like a TM. We'll go with a TM there. I really like this can. It actually kind of jumped out at me. Just that kind of, I'm a sucker for the gold, and then the art design on it. Just, something did it. Something did it for me. This, I believe, I think it's either 09. I think it's 09. So, January, April, August, September. It's called September. From September, but we're talking about a Pilsner. This is like the 2nd or 3rd of January 2024. We're going to give it a whirl, see what's what. Never been there. Wildwood, New Jersey. There's basically, if you grew up in northeastern United States, more specifically the tri-state area, for those that don't know, that's New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, and you would visit the shore. Now, everybody knows about the Jersey Shore. There's 2 places you would go. Actually, 3. Which would be, 2. Wildwood, where this is from, and the Jersey Shore, Seaside Heights, which you all know. Third one I was thinking of was Ocean City, but that's in Maryland. I was I actually grew up in Toms River, right across the street from Seaside, so that was kind of my spot. But been to Wildwood before, dig it. Yeah, but label-wise, like I said, really do dig on that. What kind of pills it is, we do not know. American Noble hopped. I mean, that is pretty damn clear for craft Pilsner. I'm not sure of Mudhen's, how big they are as a brewery. I know they're in Jersey. I don't think they're super tiny, but at the same time, I think this is the first Mudhen beer I've seen on a shelf by me up here in the northwestern part of New Jersey. So, nice, just ever so slight of haze dropped out as best you could. Kind of craft kind of Pilsner with this beautiful white soapy edged head. It's good nose. Crispy. It's going to be a crispy boy. Malt leaning. Crisp. Just that bright Pilsner malt. Maybe a touch of something else. Maybe even like a wheat or something. It feels like there's something else besides a base Pilsner malt, and they're adding a little bit of beef to the maltiness. I mean, it doesn't come off hefty, but it just comes off as a malt forward Pilsner. I'm not getting a big aromatic as far as hops go. Just a generic, soft kind of American macro lager kind of noble hoppiness off of it, and nothing too crazy. It just comes off as just a crisp, clean kind of Pilsner. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. Okay, that is an aggressive Pilsner. Wow. I mean, both from. It's almost like a 3-parter here, because I believe you're getting a decent malt characteristic here. Again, there's something above. It's a base kind of Pilsner malt in this, almost to a point where it's it's spicy malty, and it's almost not rye-like, but almost spelty to a certain extent. Then you get to the hop portion and show a big pop of bitterness here. Almost like to the point where it's a little weedy, ranky-danky. I mean, it's a low ABV beer, so it stops short of being super boisterous. But man, it does have this kind of heft to it, this pop to it, that is kind of Czech level Pils bittering, but on that kind of American noble hoppy side of things that they talk about it. It's kind of like that's the twist on it. And the third component, which I don't get a ton of on Pilsner, and I'm really curious to see what they do with this brewing, and I have to look it up, water conditioning wise, there's a minerality to this. There is this not salinity, I shouldn't say that. It's more minerality to the beer that really does show up and adds like a third factor to it. This is a very, very showy, in a good way. It's not a negative sense, showy Pilsner. I mean, it's 5%, so it's not super, super low ABV. But that trifold combination of that malt being a bit beefier than what you expect, that noble hoppy, kind of Americanized representation of that little bit of ranky, and and that hoppiness that kind of pops off, and maybe a little bit of melon characteristic, and finishing up just this minerality to it that brings it to that ultra crispy boy status, to where it is super snappy. I mean, that little bit of bittering snap, that maltiness snap, and then you have that minerality just making it just crank to 11 on the snappiness scale. This is really fun stuff. It's almost like not a session beer. You think about a 5% Pilsner, you're almost default to session with how aggressive it is from all three phases here. We can go 4 here if you want to go yeast, because there's a soft little lager yeastiness funk to this. But it's definitely a 4th player out of all those 4 ingredients. Probably the most literal 4 ingredient beer I've ever had. That you could definitely get each portion, each individual part of the beer in it, and it works really well. It's not disconnected. It comes off very cohesive. This is a really fun Pilsner. Like, really, really, really fun. I'm curious to see what this drink like hyper fresh now. Not that, you're talking about, September, so let's go September, October, November, December. We're essentially 4 months on a Pilsner. I think we're okay there. It's just, my curiosity is now piqued as to what this was like. Hyper fresh. But I dig it. I think it's very tasty. I think it's very fun, and probably one of the more interesting Pilsners I've had as late. Is it Mount Rushmore status for me? It's eking towards the top. There's probably ones that have done better for me. That's more so that there's just a ton of great Pilsner out there, from overseas to local craft. It's definitely getting its hay nowadays. But this is a very fun one. One of the more interesting ones. One of the more showy ones, let's put it that way. Value and availability, I want to say it was like $11, $12 for a 6er. That's where it should be. And I mean, perfect. Well, it's cheaper, but I don't have any qualms with that. And leave you with, if you like what we like this, if you like your Pilsners and you want to talk about them. I mean, like I said, there's definitely a bit of volume at each aspect of the ingredients in this beer, and it works. It's just not volume for volume's sake. It actually has this cool presence to it that I kind of really dig. I'm glad I got a 6er of this. It's going to be quite fun kind of going through and see how it kind of like ebb and flows throughout the week. Yeah, that's all we got, man. Mudhen. They're Pilsner. Pilsner. This is very fun stuff. Actually, kind of makes me want to go visit the brewery that much more. Wildwood's not super close to me, but I'll get down there. I have a kid. There's reasons to go places now. Anyway, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Mudhen Brewing. Have you been to the brewery? Have you had their beers? Have you had this particular beer? What's your favorite Mudhen beer? And have you had this? And what are your thoughts on it? Especially if you're a regular Pilsner drinker. Is this something that you dig on and something that you like for the reasons I portrayed? Or does it come off completely different from you? Any of that fun stuff down there. So there you go. Review in the books. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Mudhen right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.